Good evening, guys. Welcome to this Spurs Corner late night video. I was supposed to do a video, guys, earlier this morning, reacting a little bit after a few hours, of course, reacting on last night's events. But, you know, with work and everything else. And with all the memes that I received, apparently with my arms folded, watching the game in such, yeah, that wasn't me, guys. I said I wasn't going to the stadium. I said I was stopped going for a long time. Long time, guys. I don't know where to start. But anyway, I'll do my best. Let's start with the end. Apparently, at the end of the game, I mean, it was hardly half the stadium was empty. Half of the stadium probably emptied out half time already. And then the few stayed behind at the end of the game, pointing at the director's box, booing them, cussing them, swearing at them, and what have you. This is all something that if you've been a fan of not just Spurs Corner, but Tottenham Away previously, since we've been starting that channel in COVID time, we've been against this ownership many years before, of course, but I'm talking about since we've been on YouTube, and we've manifested it in every single way possible. With going to the protests, being laughed at on match day, standing by the gates opposite the Spurs shop. And we tried, man. We tried. We went to the training ground. There's obviously people who've done it for way before me. We're against this ownership, and they were protesting, and they were manifesting it peacefully, but they were manifesting it many, many a times. People way before me were doing this. Ones that are on YouTube as well that you know very well. But since I participated in quite a few of them, met a lot of you there as well, I have to say, spoken on the day that we were there. And they will tell you also how much we were ridiculed. People that were going to match days, coming up. Some of them were just coming up asking me what we're doing, asking us what we were doing. Others were just like, wasting your time, don't bother, or what you're not doing. Others insulting. Others coming down just for the content. They were filming the content. They were filming us, ridiculing us, and using it as part of their content. You know who you are. And this went on for a while. But then, guys, in the end, me personally, I checked out of pretty much after the Conte rant after Southampton, because he'd said everything that publicly, he said everything that we as fans knew, calling out everything and everyone. Yeah, of course, he had checked out by that point because he had given up, and that was the state of affairs. And since that rant, what's actually changed is nothing. It's just got worse, if anything. And you can change a lot of managers, but nothing will change, believe me. You know, all those words keep in my head, and we have changed a lot of managers, and nothing still has changed. And the situation will not change, believe me. I believed him. Of course I believed him. And so we had that at the end of last night's match. You know, people now want to send emails out. They've sent tweets out. They've sent this. They're going to protest after the Forest game. The cows are bolted. What we're doing now? We're protesting now when the cows are bolted. We want to do a protest now. We want to do a protest now for after the Forest game. Forest game, that's going to be like a 6-pointer. You know, all these future games want to protest next home games. I find it too little too late. It's too little too late. That's regarding that. In terms of the match, I I said, I've done a little video before on the day before of the Palace game, and I said that everyone's fighting around us. Forest have gone on to Man City that's, you know, holding some sort of challenge against Arsenal to win the league. Got a result there, got a point, a really good point for Forest. West Ham went over to Fulham and beat them where we failed at Craven's Cottage. And then we said, look, where's our fight? Where's our fight? And somehow we managed to get ourselves in the lead. And, you know, we just needed a 10-minute spell. A 10-minute spell after going 1-0 up. We managed to destroy that within seconds of getting an equaliser, penalty, player sent off. Van der Ven and captain has stepped in for Romero, who let us down against United. This one has let us down. It's just a different Van der Ven, and I don't see the same Van der Ven anymore. These are our captains, our leaders, and then Poro getting substituted, going crazy when he stepped on the bench. This is another captain that had stepped in after Van der Ven. Just, I don't know, man. Where are these leaders? Where are these leaders, man? The leaders are losing the plot before every other player. And then the team who completely disarray, they've lost any sense of direction. And the manager who, listen, Tudor's been there, 3 games now? Of course, he's not to blame for the whole shambles that are Tottenham Hotspur. However, he is adding to his own in those 3 games, you know, with the tactics that he's deployed, that he's displaying, and I don't know, man. It's just I always thought that a manager, when the team is such disarray and lack of direction, tries to then simplify things, goes in there, simplify things, and really works in the mind more than attacks it, more than implementing your own game. The thing is to try and galvanise the team, try and get them to some fights, simplify the tactics, simplify the instructions, and really go, you know, even if you go back to really strip it to basic, to a 4-4-2 if you have to, just to get something going, do it. What you don't do is try to implement your way of playing football in a team that's a complete... That you can do further down the line, but hey, you need to get results. We couldn't be any further away from getting a result. I know, like I said, the sending off and Van der Ven getting sent off, going down to 10 men, really, it hurt us. It hurt us more than we already were. And it went the way it went. But there was so many things wrong. The lack of fight, you know, when you're down to 10 men, you have to fight, even more so than when you're on 11. But we're not doing that either. So the game just completely and utterly went away from us. And I just, again, with games coming up, I just don't know how we're going to turn this around. We're going to go to Liverpool next, and I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know where the next 3 points are going to come from. And now, look, numerically speaking, the only good thing I can say is that numerically, like numbers-wise, we got the same. We're still, you know, we're there. We just have to do us and not worry about others. But if we lose another game, we're going to be chasing others. So then, by that point, you're no longer in control of your own destiny because you're giving it to someone else. And like I said, Forest. And West Ham fighting, even Wolves, you know, Wolves, the run of games that they got, they can really, they have really an outside chance, but they can, if they believe that the teams above them are going to drop points like us. We're now the bookies' favourite, by the way. We're the bookies' favourites to go down, and that tells you everything you need to know. So, guys, I don't know what I can possibly say other than the fact that it wasn't me at the stadium with the caps and the badges on the head, on the cap. But look, I don't know. I'm trying to make light-hearted humour on it, but I don't feel very humorous, and I'm sure you guys don't either. And no, before anyone asks me, relegation, no. It's not something I want. I understand for those who are starting to talk their way around or have talked their way around relegation as it is probably the last resort to get the owners out. Maybe to some point there is an argument there, but I see something else. I see if us going down, it's like, yeah, get rid of the owners. Maybe there's an argument for that. But I don't see us coming straight back up. if we go down, I see us staying down there for a long, long while, because the lack of programming, the lack of things that would need to be done in the summer to try and get a team that's able to come straight back up. I don't see an ownership. I see a massive player turnaround, and then you have to get a manager, and then there'll be so many changes within the personnel and the management and possibly the ownership to then get it all together. It's going to be an impossibility to come straight back up when you've made so many changes in such a short space of time. The shock and the reality of being in a new league that you wasn't really prepared for, that will take an absolute while. Obviously, the financial hit as well. There is going to be a lot of sponsorship loss. So there's so many reasons why also a relegation wouldn't be in the interest of Tottenham Hotspur. Like I said, I've understood, I've heard the reasons why this relegation thing's taken off. Is because they want to see the only time probably force change out of the ownership, getting rid of them, hitting them in the pocket. I get all of that, but you have to also understand the other side of it, of going down. And especially in our situation, it's not a case where we come straight back up. You'd have the same manager, and you have then most of the players squad together. You'd have a complete overhaul of players leaving, a complete overhaul of players coming in, a new manager that has to get them going again, who's experienced and there's no guarantees you're coming straight back up. So this could be a few years in the Championship, and then it's going to be even more so. The Atletico Madrid games again in the Champions League could be the last European Cup games that we're going to be playing in years. So there's so many things that, as well as, one side of the argument, this is the other side of the argument. So many things that, no, I won't embrace relegation, and I won't want my team to get relegated for those reasons, because it could take years before they come back up. And a fact of the matter is that all these people that I want to protest now, again, and set up a protest to go after all these people that we've been wanting for all of us to go after for years, is because the Premier League status is in the balance. It's taken to the point where Premier League status is in a balance to really try and act. And I'm not even convinced even then that's going to be enough people protesting against this ownership right now. I'm not convinced that it's going to be, the numbers are going to be there, because it hasn't been ever in the past, apart from one time, I believe, when we had 2,000 people walking up the high street. So I don't know, guys. Cup weekend, no football for us, but I don't know. And then you got Liverpool next weekend to try and really, I heard what Tudor's had to say about those who are in the boat can stay on it, others they've checked out can stay off. Tudor's probably realised just how many are in that boat fighting. With the exception of Archie Gray yesterday, how many players? And probably Archie Gray, I saw a fight in him. I know, it's not about bigging up players, but he's the only one identified in a player that's really fighting for the cause. And maybe because he's been in that situation before with Leeds, but the others guys, I see a lot more players checked out. I don't know, other than Gray, who did you guys see yesterday that really was fighting for the cause? And at this point in the season, not to have players that are fighting for the cause, either they're not realising where the situation we are in, which for me was after the home defeat against West Ham. Really, I was really worried at that point. Really concerned at that point that we would be in this situation. And some players have not realised the situation, or some people continue not to realise that the situation that we're in, or they're just not used to it, or they just don't know how to deal with it. Whatever way you want to look at it, it is a massive problem, and it's showing, because we are the only team in that relegation battle that are not fighting. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Spurs Corner. I would to say, guys, I feel really, really dejected today on the basis of what happened last night. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, forever always, come on you Spurs.